Righto. Start putting a bit of a dent in this electrical work. Straight up. I'll get this panel off so we can get this panel out. Okay. So that's that panel. So you can see it's clearly different to 2009 to 2017. See how it's got the square ones? So this one's heats better. So I just pull it out. This switch here, this switch here, I'm gonna relocate. So just unplug them one at a time so you don't get them lost. And basically, you know what you're dealing with straight away. So only one of these I actually want in here, and I'll put that in this one, which I may have to modify. So these are all made to fit in a certain location, so this one here doesn't want to fit. This will focus on me. You might be able to just see it's got them blue locating slots on one side, the other side's got a black one. So they're made to fit certain holes, but you can make them universal by just taking them off the switch. So you just have a look at the ones that are sticking out. You can just get a tool like this. Just one black one on this side. So that's gone now. Would you look at that? Clips in. Perfect, mate. That's looking heaps better already. So then the talking about lockup clutch will go in there. That's the master switch on and off, and that's the high and low speed activation. So it'll lock in at 70 and unlock at 60 on the high, and then lock up at 40 and unlock at 30 on the low. So it'll do that every time. The brightness, which is for the lights under here, I usually just set it to the maximum and then just push it behind the dash and just leave it. Fun part, pulling all the dash apart. So first one's usually this one. Grab hold of that. These two pieces. Now I've never actually pulled the Kakadu one apart before. The VX's come apart, well the other one's come out pretty easy. Right, that's that piece. Just unplug it. It's out of the way. Now, so this piece may not even need to pull out. Probably will actually. Pull the glove box out. Glove box comes out pretty easy. There's this little strut over this side. Get that out of the way. Push these two sides in. Comes out. Close that off. It's two screws really. Yeah, right. Your minutes. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, sit it on this rag I think, because there's a heap of plugs in there. As you can see there's a lot going on. That gives me a heap of room to feed some stuff through. So my mission is to get these across to the other side. So what room have I got through there? So how about I do the driving light harness first. I've got that talking about a lockup kit harness in, but we'll just focus on the driving light harness for a second. So what you're going to want to do is start the car basically. Nothing's really disconnected, not really going to have any problems. I just can't turn the aircon off because I've disconnected that. So it actually connects in to the back of the headlight stalk. So it's negatively switched there somehow. So what you want to do, you see that screw there? Take that one out. Turn the other way. One there. You want this all the way out, make it a bit easier. That's right. Just keep the ignition on for a second until I get this off. There's one screw underneath here, nothing major. 3 screws. Now just gently tug on this. The tilt steering column. Right. It's a little bit tricky to get that off. Right, we've got it off now. So I'll bring it around to the side. So this is the whole harness here. So it's plug and play. So just plug this side into here, like that. And then this one, just maneuver around a little bit to plug into this. Got to feed the tilt and telescopic steering column adjustment through there first, which is a bit tricky because it wants to move on you. Just like that. That's alright, not too bad. This here I'm going to change up as well because it's only got the 2 switches, and because I've got the 2 squares from the other side, I want to fit them in here. So what I'm going to do is pull out these blanks. Need a tool of some sort. One blank. Pink goes into the camera, so I'll put this parking one at the top. So I'm going to have to modify this one so I can put it in that slot, and then I'm going to put the window washers in this slot, and then the auto high beam in this one. Righto, easy as that. So I'll just start plugging them back in. Pink went to the camera, that went to the parking. Now just have to do what I've done to the last Prado and move these over. So it's a bit of a wiring mod you have to do, but yeah, what I managed to do here is relocate all these, same as my old one, same layout and everything. So I've got this bit of 7-core trailer wire. So what I'm going to do with that is join it up to all the plugs. On this side I'm going to cut the plug off, and I've got this here which come out of my old one actually as well. Picks up the auto high beam out of here, so that's the auto high beam switch. This one here, on off, so that tees into that. And then that's the window washers one. So yeah, that's going to run through behind here, back over to where the other harness is. It's going to tee in, and once it's all plugged in, you'd never know. So yeah, I guess you could say this is probably the work people don't really see in the builds, like some of the electrical work. It's can be pretty time consuming. So what I'm doing here is relocating the switches. This is what I've done here so far. So I've just got these two wires to cut off here. And that turned out pretty tidy. That's the harness for those two switches. So I'm just going to try and set this heat shrink. Heat gun's probably ideal, but I don't know if I only want to use the heat, not so much the flame. So I got this in place of the standard switch for the driving light harness. I'll slip this one over the top of these two. These two should just be for the illumination of the switch. I've just been looking for a dash light signal. So you see this idle up switch? When I turn that on and off, this green wire here gets fed 12 volt. So the good thing about having a set of wire strippers is you just get hold of it right on the inside. It doesn't cut it, but it can spread the wire. So see all that exposed copper there? One thing you can do is, now I need a dash light signal for this, which will be this red wire here. So I'll strip this as well, and then all you have to do is wrap that around that, and you've now got a dash light signal to your wire. The only thing is you can't put heat shrink over it because you haven't actually cut it. So sometimes I find I do actually cut it just so I can use heat shrink, but if you're happy with a bit of tape for that sort of setup, that'll get you out of trouble. Righto, I'm back. It's been about 8 days since I've touched this car. It's just been left in the shed. I went away for New Year's, so had 4 days on a big 46-foot boat. It was absolutely an awesome time. So a couple of flicks here. Fun down there, Mitch. So yeah, just come back off a couple of night shifts, feeling fatigued as, so hopefully I don't look like there's something wrong with me, and start ripping into this. Trying to get this going. Got a massive day at TJM Hunter Valley tomorrow, so you'll see that episode 4. Be a massive fit out of a whole heap of stuff, so stay tuned for that. So I just got off the phone to Richard's Auto Electrics. Hopefully you can see that. So this is the lockup kit. I just asked him about a couple of issues I had with my previous car, and he used to put it into not limp mode, but the engine light and all the traction control used to be disabled. So that would only happen when I used the low speed mode between 30 and 40 k's, like on the beach and stuff. Apparently they've said 1 out of 30 cars plays up. So I asked if there was anything I could do with this one. They said just put it in, see if it plays up. If it does play up, there's an option to send the ECU to them in Victoria, and they'll reflash it so the lights don't come on, and just eliminates that need. But if it does happen, pretty much you only have to disconnect your battery terminal, which I did have to do a couple of times in my old car. So yeah. I also asked them about this control module. This control module's got a couple of dip switches in there, and by fiddling with the dip switches, I think there's about 4 of them, gives all different combinations of what speeds it'll lock up and unlock at. So I asked him about winding the low speed one down a bit lower, because it was a bit hard on the beach to maintain 30 or 40 kilometers sometimes. So if I could just lower it down to say 20, 25, I feel like it'd be a lot better on the beach and just keep a lot of heat out of it, because ultimately that's what this does, and then the highway takes the slip out while you're doing higher speeds. So yeah, that's definitely an advantage with one of these. It's fully automatic, so you don't need to touch any switches or anything, just the high and low speed mode, and then it does the rest for you. So Easy as that. So there's 7 wires I need to deal with here. There's 4 that go in line of the torque converter control. There's the purple one, which is a speed sensor wire, and then that's just power and earth for the control system. So that's what I put a solder in. Just got to unplug 2 of these plugs, and it's got a pretty good wiring diagram in here of which ones you've got to attack. So you just got to check the wire colors, check the connector numbers, and then yeah, basically cut it and splice into it, which isn't too bad of a job. Just takes a little bit of time. Alrighty legends, apologise this episode was a bit dodgy. I do appreciate the ones that got this far. Stay tuned for the next episode where we're fitting bar work, lights, winch, side steps. A lot more interesting, a lot more engaging. I was filming someone else, so it was a lot easier for me. So yeah, stay tuned for the next one. Thanks for watching guys, see you later.